Fearless is the new animated film on Netflix released this year and is directed by Corey Edwards. Fearless tells the story of a teenager named Fleech who is a video game addict who needs to get a science project done with a girl who wants to take it seriously. In the video game universe, the captain's babies are teleported to planet Earth, and it's up to the teens to rescue the babies before the villain finds them. Fearless was a film I saw being advertised on Netflix, and I watched the trailer, and may I say the trailer was pretty bad, but I decided to watch it because why not? It's a movie to review, isn't it? But I watched the trailer, like I said, didn't like it, thought the film just looked trash, but I went into the film open-minded, and the film is pretty bad. I won't call it a terrible movie, but it's not good. It's the opposite of good, that's for sure. The story is very, very bland. It's very dull. Like, it's so beyond... Ugh, it's just not interesting. It's very bland, uncreative, and just it feels plain. The story, I just think it's silly, to be honest. It's just stupid. I think the concept is just so dumb. I mean, why would you make a movie about characters from a video game being transported to the real life human world? I mean, okay, it's fascinating to an extent. I can see what the movie is trying to do and trying to execute, but I just think the story, it's not interesting. I just didn't care like what was going on, and the movie felt rushed. It felt like it was just, I don't know, like something, it felt like nothing really popped out or nothing happened, and it just felt like, very rushed and very short, and it was just, it's lazily put. It's just a lazily written story, and it's not interesting. No wonder it was dumped on Netflix. I mean, I don't know if it was planned to be released in cinemas, but obviously it couldn't because, well, obviously it can't because due to the coronavirus, but I don't know. Like I said, I've never heard of it. It was only when I saw it being advertised on Netflix and I watched the trailer. But the story, it's so dull, it's uninteresting, it's bland, and yeah, it's not an interesting film. Like, it's got a very cheaply made story. The animation is pretty bad. It's not very good. I guess on a budget, it's alright, like it's good enough. But I mean, Next Gen was a Netflix original film, and that animation wasn't even that bad. That had actually some pretty decent animation, but here it's just so... I don't mind the character designs, but the character designs are pretty bad. Like, they'd look so much better on 2D animation, but the backgrounds, especially on the trees, my god, it looks so half finished. Like, it looked so bad. It looked like it was something, you'd see on 2D animation that would look good. It doesn't even, honestly though, the animation style reminds me of Lewis and the Aliens, especially in the character designs, and you know how I felt about Lewis and the Aliens. Lewis and the Aliens, oh god, that was awful. But, I don't like the animation. It's not very good. It's just so, it's ugly. Like, it's not that great. The voice acting, for the most part, is really bad. Like, they do not match the characters at all. Like, the voice acting is just dull. It didn't sound like any of the actors were interested doing it. They just said, oh yeah, we'll do voice work, because why not? They don't sound interested. They didn't sound invested. The only character's voice actor that did sound invested was the captain. But he's not in the movie a whole lot, shockingly. And his voice acting was pretty good, actually. I'll give them that. But the worst voice acting went for the villain. It did not match the villain at all. It just came out being so goofy type voice, and I didn't really think that was all that great. And the characters are awful. Bleach is a really cliche main protagonist and incredibly generic, and not once did I find him interesting. His character arc is so unappealing. The girl Malini is bad too. She's such a bland character and she's just incredibly forgettable. The villain, I'll give credit, has a pretty good design. He reminds me of a villain from Monsters vs. Aliens, but he's nothing. He's just as bland as paper and very one-dimensional. The captain character is the best character hands down and definitely the best voice acted, but he doesn't even do a lot in the film and he's pretty forgettable in sections of the movie. And it's shocking because he's literally in the poster and he's only in like a couple of minutes. The music, it does use some modern day pop songs, which I guess is alright, and I'll give credit, maybe the end credits theme song is pretty nice for what it is, but it's not a good film. It's a very bland movie, and I don't recommend it. I really didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it. I did not like it. I think it's a pretty bad film. Overall, Fearless is a pretty bad film. A really confusing story, poor animation, awful characters, and a mediocre soundtrack. I'm gonna give Fearless a 4 out of 10. So yeah, I won't call it a horrible film. It's just bad. Like, don't watch it. Like, if you want to watch it, feel free to. It's on Netflix, but for me, I'm not going near it again. But nah, it wasn't good. It wasn't. It was just, like I said, it was dull and rushed and all, not a good film. It was bad. Like, it was pretty bad. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Fearless. Hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you guys think of Fearless in the comments down below. Have you seen it? Did you hear about it? And yeah, we can have a discussion in the comments. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video. And until then, guys, skadoosh everyone and have a great day and take care.